Welcome to Book Buzz Reviews and Summaries. Imagine walking into a meeting where, once again, everyone seems to be speaking a different language. The person across from you rambles on without getting to the point, while another is pushing for action with no thought of the details. You try to voice your ideas, but someone interrupts, challenging everything before you've even finished. You leave, shaking your head, wondering how in the world you're surrounded by so many people who just don't get it. Sound familiar? Thomas Erikson's Surrounded by Idiots opens with this very scenario, one we've all faced at some point. The frustration of feeling misunderstood, the challenge of navigating conflicting personalities, and the exhaustion of trying to get along with people who seem impossible to communicate with. But Erikson has a refreshing take on this daily struggle. The truth, he reveals, is that you're not actually surrounded by idiots, you're surrounded by people who think, process, and communicate differently from you. And that difference is exactly what you need to understand if you want to thrive, whether at work, in relationships, or in life. What if there was a simple, color-coded system to decode the behavior of everyone around you? In Surrounded by Idiots, Erikson introduces readers to the DISC model, a powerful tool that breaks down human behavior into 4 primary personality types: reds, blues, greens, and yellows. Each color represents a unique way of thinking, acting, and communicating. Reds are bold and driven, pushing for results and action. Blues are analytical, detail-oriented, and careful planners. Greens value stability and harmony, preferring to avoid conflict. Yellows are the enthusiastic visionaries, full of ideas and energy, always looking to connect with others. Erikson shows that when you understand these different personality types, what once seemed like idiotic behavior suddenly makes sense. That talkative colleague who drives you crazy with their constant chatter. They're likely a yellow, bubbling with ideas and trying to create a positive, collaborative environment. The boss who bulldozes through meetings and demands instant results. Classic red, focused on getting things done and expecting others to keep up. Your quiet, meticulous coworker? Probably a blue, ensuring every detail is perfect before moving forward. And the calm, friendly neighbor who never seems ruffled? That's a green, who values peace and prefers to avoid confrontation. But this isn't just about labeling people. Erikson offers practical insights into how to adapt your communication style based on the personality type in front of you. Reds need to be challenged and respected for their decisiveness. Blues require facts and well-thought-out arguments. Greens respond best to a calm, supportive approach, while yellows thrive on enthusiasm and big-picture ideas. By learning to speak the language of each type, you can reduce misunderstandings, build better relationships, and improve your influence. Surrounded by Idiots isn't just a guide to understanding others, it's a guide to understanding yourself. Erikson encourages readers to recognize their own dominant color, and by doing so, offers a mirror into your own communication strengths and weaknesses. This knowledge becomes the key to unlocking better teamwork, smoother interactions, and a more harmonious life. Ready to stop feeling frustrated and start mastering the art of communication? Let Erikson show you how to navigate the colorful personalities around you. Introduction: The Source of Misunderstandings. Erikson opens the book with an amusing yet all too familiar scenario. You're in a conversation, explaining something in a way that seems clear and rational, yet the other person doesn't understand or reacts in a way that surprises you. You might think to yourself, is this person an idiot? This humorous premise sets the stage for the entire book, where Erikson argues that the source of such miscommunication lies in differences in personality types, not intelligence. At the heart of Surrounded by Idiots is the DISC model, which stands for dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. These 4 behavioral styles are represented by colors. Red, dominance bold, driven, and results-oriented. Yellow, influence, charismatic, optimistic, and social. Green, steadiness, calm, patient, and reliable. Blue, compliance, analytical, detail-oriented, and precise. Chapter 1, The Red Personality, the Dominant, Decisive Leader. Erikson begins with the red personality type, who is often viewed as the most assertive and intimidating. Reds are characterized by their determination, assertiveness, and competitive nature. They thrive on challenges and are constantly looking for ways to win or improve efficiency. For a red, time is of the essence. They are fast decision makers and hate delays or indecisiveness. If you've ever worked with someone who always wants to cut to the chase, push for results, and take charge in meetings, you've likely encountered a red. However, reds can also be perceived as abrasive or arrogant, as they prioritize getting things done over building relationships. Erikson provides several amusing anecdotes of interactions with reds, illustrating their drive for power and control. These individuals often struggle with empathy and patience, which can cause friction when working with others who may not share their urgency. Communicating with a red. To effectively communicate with a red, Erikson advises being direct and succinct. Don't beat around the bush or try to sugarcoat things. Reds appreciate straightforwardness and efficiency. If you want to win their respect, show confidence and be prepared to back up your points with logic and facts. Reds may not have the patience for small talk, so it's important to focus on outcomes and solutions when engaging with them. Chapter 2: The Yellow Personality, the Enthusiastic, Social Butterfly. Next, Erikson introduces us to the yellow personality type, often referred to as the most fun-loving and energetic of the four types. Yellows are natural communicators. They are enthusiastic, optimistic, and outgoing. They thrive on social interactions and are usually the life of the party. They're the ones with the biggest smiles, the most friends, and the loudest voices in the room. However, while their enthusiasm is contagious, yellows can also come across as superficial or overly chatty. They may have difficulty focusing on details or following through on commitments. Their need for constant social interaction can be overwhelming for introverts or those who value structure and order. Erikson shares a humorous anecdote about a yellow colleague who could charm everyone at work but had a tendency to forget important details because they were so caught up in socializing. For yellows, life is about having fun and creating connections, sometimes at the expense of professionalism or deadlines. Communicating with a yellow. When communicating with a yellow, Erikson advises focusing on building a relationship first. Yellows are drawn to positive energy, so try to match their enthusiasm and engage them in conversations that highlight the big picture. Avoid bogging them down with too many details or technical information, as they may lose interest. Instead, focus on the vision or the potential for future success, which will keep them motivated and excited. Chapter 3: The Green Personality, the Patient, Reliable Team Player. The green personality is the polar opposite of red. Greens are calm, steady, and reliable. They value harmony and stability, and they are often the glue that holds teams together. Greens are natural listeners, and they go out of their way to avoid conflict. If you need someone to support the team and follow through on tasks, a green is your go-to person. Greens often shy away from the spotlight and can be resistant to change. They prefer working behind the scenes, ensuring that everything runs smoothly without drawing attention to themselves. However, their desire to avoid conflict and maintain the status quo can sometimes hinder progress, especially when bold decisions or risks are needed. Erikson shares several examples of working with greens, highlighting their dependable nature but also their resistance to anything that disrupts their sense of security. Greens are often the ones who work diligently in the background while others take the credit. Communicating with a green. When communicating with a green, Erikson advises being patient and empathetic. Greens value relationships and need time to process changes or decisions. Avoid being too pushy or aggressive, as this can make them shut down. Instead, show appreciation for their contributions and emphasize how changes will benefit the team as a whole. Greens respond well to reassurance and consistency, so it's important to provide a stable environment in which they can thrive. Chapter 4: The Blue Personality, the Analytical, Detail-Oriented Perfectionist. Lastly, Erikson introduces the blue personality type, the most analytical and detail-oriented of the four. Blues are perfectionists who value structure, precision, and logic. They are the ones who will meticulously plan every step, analyze every detail, and ensure that nothing is overlooked. For blues, success is found in the details, and they are often the experts in their fields due to their thorough approach. However, blues can also be perceived as overly critical or rigid. They have a tendency to get lost in the minutiae and may struggle to see the bigger picture. Blues often have high standards, both for themselves and others, which can lead to frustration when things don't go according to plan. Erikson describes his experiences with blues, highlighting their incredible attention to detail, but also their challenges in adapting to fast-paced environments where perfection isn't always possible. Blues excel in roles that require precision, such as finance, engineering, or law, but they may struggle in more dynamic or ambiguous settings. Communicating with a blue. When communicating with a blue, Erikson advises being clear, logical, and well-prepared. Blues appreciate data and evidence, so it's important to back up your arguments with facts. Avoid being vague or emotional, as blues prefer objective reasoning. Be patient with their need for detail and allow them time to analyze the situation before making decisions. If you can show that you've thought things through carefully, blues will respect your approach. Chapter 5: Strengths and Weaknesses of Each Type. Erikson goes on to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of each personality type. He emphasizes that no one type is superior to another, and each has its unique value in different situations. Reds, for example, are excellent leaders in high-pressure situations where quick decisions are needed, while greens are invaluable in maintaining long-term relationships and ensuring team cohesion. Yellows bring creativity and optimism, often inspiring those around them to take action, but they may struggle with details and follow-through. Blues are essential in roles that require precision and accuracy, though they can become paralyzed by overanalysis. Chapter 6: How to Manage Different Personality Types. In this chapter, Erikson provides practical advice for managing teams composed of different personality types. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing each individual's strengths and weaknesses and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. For example, while a red may need autonomy and the freedom to make decisions, a green may require more support and reassurance to feel comfortable with change. The key to success, Erikson argues, is flexibility. Leaders must adapt their management style to suit the needs of their team members, rather than expecting everyone to conform to a single approach. By understanding the DISC model and using it to tailor communication and leadership strategies, managers can improve productivity, reduce conflict, and foster a more harmonious workplace. Chapter 7: The Art of Self-Awareness. Erikson concludes the book by discussing the importance of self-awareness. Understanding your own personality type is just as crucial as understanding others. By recognizing your tendencies and how they affect your interactions, you can improve your communication skills and build stronger relationships. He encourages readers to reflect on their behavior, especially in situations of conflict or misunderstanding. Are you a red who pushes others too hard? A yellow who talks too much and forgets important details? A green who avoids confrontation at all costs? Or a blue who gets bogged down in perfectionism? Self-awareness is the first step to personal growth and more effective communication. Chapter 8: How Personality Types Affect Everyday Life. In this chapter, Erikson emphasizes how understanding personality types can have a profound impact on day-to-day life. Whether it's interacting with family members, managing friendships, or collaborating with colleagues, knowing how others think and respond can drastically improve your relationships. For instance, family dynamics often become clearer when viewed through the DISC model. If a red personality in the family tends to dominate discussions and make quick decisions, a green family member may feel overwhelmed by the pace and intensity. The yellow, ever the optimist, might try to keep things light and fun but may be seen as too carefree. Meanwhile, the blue will likely stay reserved, focusing on structure and planning, but can come off as overly critical when others don't match their level of organization. Erikson provides relatable anecdotes about family life, such as dealing with siblings, partners, or parents who don't seem to get each other. For example, in a family gathering, a red sibling might push for making fast decisions about holiday plans, while the blue family member may feel anxious about not having all the details sorted out first. The yellow might jump in with excitement about fun activities, and the green may avoid taking sides, preferring harmony and consensus. Through these examples, Erikson highlights how personality clashes can lead to misunderstandings, but also points out that once we recognize these differences, we can adapt our communication strategies to suit the situation. Chapter 9: Love and Relationships: Understanding Your Partner's Personality Type. One of the most interesting and applicable sections of Surrounded by Idiots focuses on how the DISC model influences romantic relationships. Erikson discusses how people of different personality types approach love, conflict, and affection. In any relationship, the potential for misunderstandings is huge, but by recognizing the personality traits of your partner, you can navigate these challenges more smoothly. Reds in relationships: Reds are driven, decisive, and often direct in expressing their needs. They value efficiency, even in personal relationships, and can sometimes come across as blunt or insensitive. While they may not be naturally emotionally expressive, Reds show love through actions and tangible outcomes. However, Reds might struggle to understand partners who need more emotional connection and patience. A green or blue partner, for example, might feel hurt by a Red's brisk manner, while the Red may feel frustrated by their partner's perceived slowness or indecision. Yellows in relationships: Yellows are outgoing, passionate, and enthusiastic partners who enjoy spontaneity and excitement. They are natural flirts and often bring a sense of joy and optimism to their relationships. However, Yellows can sometimes be seen as superficial or irresponsible, particularly by Blues or Greens who might value structure and security more than Yellows do. Yellows need a lot of attention and validation in relationships and may get bored if things become too routine. Greens in relationships: Greens are supportive, nurturing, and incredibly loyal partners. They seek stability and often avoid conflict at all costs. Greens are great at making their partners feel cared for but can struggle with expressing their own needs or asserting themselves in the relationship. A Red or Yellow partner might get frustrated by a Green's reluctance to speak up or take risks, while Greens may feel overwhelmed by the pace or assertiveness of their partners. Blues in relationships: Blues bring a lot of thoughtfulness and dedication to relationships. They are often very responsible and committed partners who value trust and dependability. However, Blues can also be critical and may set very high standards for both themselves and their partners. They often want things done just right and can become frustrated when their partner is more laid back or spontaneous, like a Yellow. Blues prefer deep, intellectual connections and need a partner who respects their need for order and analysis. Erikson points out that understanding these dynamics can help couples manage conflicts better and appreciate their differences rather than seeing them as obstacles. For instance, a Red partner might learn to tone down their directness with a Green partner, understanding that the Green needs more reassurance and patience. Similarly, a Yellow partner might learn to temper their spontaneity with a Blue, recognizing that the Blue needs structure and planning to feel comfortable. Chapter 10: Building Effective Teams: Understanding Workplace Dynamics. In a workplace setting, personality differences can either become a source of conflict or a tremendous asset, depending on how they're managed. Erikson devotes this chapter to understanding team dynamics, offering insights into how the DISC model can help managers and colleagues create more harmonious and productive work environments. The key to a successful team, according to Erikson, is recognizing the diverse strengths that each personality type brings to the table. Reds are natural leaders and excel in driving results, making them ideal for roles that require quick decision-making and leadership in high-pressure situations. However, they might clash with Blues or Greens, who prefer a slower, more methodical approach. Yellows are great at building relationships, fostering creativity, and keeping team morale high. They're ideal for roles that require collaboration, brainstorming, and social engagement. However, their tendency to focus on the big picture can lead to issues with deadlines or details, which may frustrate more detail-oriented types like Blues. Greens are the stabilizers of the team. They ensure that the team functions smoothly and are often the ones who quietly keep projects on track. While they may not seek the spotlight, Greens are crucial for maintaining team cohesion. They might struggle with assertive Reds or fast-moving Yellows, but their calm demeanor can help ease tensions within the team. Blues are the ones who will meticulously analyze every aspect of a project, ensuring that nothing is overlooked. They thrive in roles that require precision, structure, and compliance. However, blues may struggle with overly aggressive reds or overly optimistic yellows who may not value their need for thoroughness. Erikson advises managers to tailor their leadership style according to the personality types they are working with. For example, reds should be given autonomy and opportunities to take charge, while blues might need more information and time to analyze decisions. Yellows thrive in environments where creativity is encouraged, and greens need stability and reassurance to feel comfortable. Erikson also addresses common workplace conflicts, such as when a red tries to dominate meetings or when a yellow derails discussions with unrelated anecdotes. By understanding these behaviors through the DISC lens, managers can defuse conflicts and help team members work more effectively together. Chapter 11: Leading by Understanding: How to be an Effective Leader. Leaders who understand the DISC model can tailor their approach to fit the needs of their team members, making them more effective in inspiring and managing their people. Erikson explains that there is no one-size-fits-all leadership style, and successful leaders are those who can adapt to different personalities. Leading reds respond well to challenges, autonomy, and clear goals. They want to be in control and may become frustrated with micromanagement. Leaders who manage reds should focus on giving them the freedom to lead their own projects and make decisions while providing clear expectations. Leading yellows are motivated by positivity, recognition, and creativity. They need a leader who values their ideas and encourages collaboration. However, leaders may need to keep yellows focused and ensure they follow through on commitments. Frequent check-ins and a bit of structure can help yellows stay on track. Leading greens are motivated by a sense of belonging and stability. They don't like sudden changes or surprises, so leaders should communicate clearly and provide reassurance. Leaders need to be patient with greens and avoid putting too much pressure on them. Greens work best in environments where they feel supported and valued. Leading blues need structure, clarity, and information. They don't respond well to ambiguity or rushed decisions. Leaders managing blues should ensure that they have all the details they need to feel confident in their work. Allowing blues to focus on quality and giving them time to analyze will help them excel. By adjusting their leadership style to fit the needs of different personality types, leaders can foster a more productive and harmonious team environment. Chapter 12: Self-Improvement Through the DISC Model. One of the most empowering aspects of Erikson's book is the emphasis on self-awareness and personal growth. By understanding your own personality type, you can identify areas for improvement and find ways to enhance your communication and interpersonal skills. For example, a red might realize that their assertiveness can come across as aggression and work on being more empathetic and patient with others. A yellow might notice that they tend to dominate conversations and need to be more mindful of listening to others. A green might work on being more assertive and vocal about their needs, while a blue might focus on being more flexible and open to new ideas. Erikson suggests that the key to personal growth lies in understanding how your personality affects your relationships and interactions with others. By becoming more aware of your tendencies, you can adapt your behavior to improve your communication, reduce conflict, and build stronger relationships both personally and professionally. Conclusion: Decoding human behavior for better connections. As we close surrounded by idiots, Thomas Erikson has done more than just provide an entertaining look at human behavior. He has given us a powerful framework for understanding ourselves and others. Through the lens of 4 distinct personality types, reds, blues, yellows, and greens, Erikson demystifies the complex ways people think, communicate, and react, making it easier for us to navigate both personal and professional relationships. The core message of Erikson's book is that people are not idiots for thinking or behaving differently from us. Instead, those differences are rooted in unique personality types, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. By recognizing these traits in ourselves and others, we gain the ability to communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts with empathy, and build stronger connections. At the heart of Surrounded by Idiots is the idea that self-awareness is the key to unlocking better relationships. By understanding our own personality type, whether we are a dominant red, analytical blue, optimistic yellow, or nurturing green, we become more conscious of our natural tendencies and how they impact those around us. This awareness empowers us to adjust our behavior in ways that promote harmony and productivity, both at home and in the workplace. Perhaps the most practical takeaway from this book is learning how to adapt our communication style to fit different personalities. Reds crave efficiency and directness, while blues appreciate structure and details. Yellows thrive on enthusiasm and creativity, and greens seek harmony and support. When we adjust our approach to suit these preferences, we become better leaders, colleagues, partners, and friends. But Erikson doesn't stop at just categorizing people. He reminds us that no one is purely one color, and that we all embody a mix of traits. This flexibility allows us to grow, adapt, and balance our relationships. It also reinforces the idea that empathy and patience are essential. By viewing others through the lens of their personality type rather than our own assumptions, we can diffuse tensions, avoid misunderstandings, and foster genuine understanding. As we step away from Surrounded by Idiots, Erikson leaves us with a lasting challenge: to continuously apply these insights in our daily lives. Understanding personalities is not a one-time fix, but an ongoing process. Each interaction provides an opportunity to improve, whether it's by listening more closely, adjusting our tone, or simply pausing to consider another person's perspective. Ultimately, this book offers more than just a guide to navigating difficult personalities. It's a call to action for greater self-awareness, empathy, and communication. If we can apply the lessons of Surrounded by Idiots, we'll not only improve our relationships but also contribute to a world where differences are celebrated, not misunderstood. So, as you move forward, remember, no one is truly an idiot, they're just different. And that difference, when understood, is the key to unlocking deeper, more meaningful connections in every area of life. Final thoughts: idiots no more. In the final pages of the book, Erikson reiterates that the people who frustrate us are not idiots, but simply individuals with different communication styles. By understanding the DISC model and applying it in our interactions, we can improve both our personal and professional relationships. Rather than seeing others as obstacles, we can learn to appreciate their unique strengths and work together more harmoniously. Surrounded by Idiots is both a practical guide and an entertaining read, offering valuable insights into human behavior. It's a must-read for anyone looking to improve their communication skills, enhance their leadership abilities, or simply better understand the people around them. Please read the book to learn more and consider subscribing to support the channel. Thank you.